Welcome, everybody, to the People, Purpose, and Profits Business Coaching Podcast. I'm your host, Brian Buck, and my wonderful co-host is...
Kat.
And we are honored to be bringing to you an interview with our friend Orrin Hudson. Please introduce yourself, Orrin, and I'm excited for our audience to just experience everything you're about.
My name is Orrin C. Hudson. C's for checkmate. Checkmate means you win. It's not over until you win. I'm committed to helping entrepreneurs, solopreneurs wake up and win. And I teach people how to play chess and how to think strategically about their future, and that don't count every move, but make every move count, and make your next move your best move.
Oh, man, I'm excited to hear your story. I have a friend of mine who has been doing consulting for a long time, but he's gone down to now he does Legos and uses Legos and strategy because he wants to bring play into the workplace. And sounds a little bit about how do you bring like the concept of chess to be able to help people. So please share.
Well, you know, chess is about managing resources. Life business is about managing resources. The opposite of wealth is not poor. The opposite of wealth is mismanagement of resources. Poor is just a reflection of how you manage your resources. People overlook, they overlook their resources, they mismanage their resources, and they underdevelop resources. You have resources now in your garage or in your closet that you're not using. So there's always a way to use what you have to get even more. And being an entrepreneur is all about managing your time, your talents, your resources, because you can always do more with less if you maximize and take advantage and exploit what's really happening.
Beautiful.
Wonderful.
And
How
I would
did
like
you come across this journey? Oh, go ahead.
I wanted to get him to share a little bit of his story because it's so powerful on how you actually started teaching chess and what is your story before that, because I do think you know, it will give us a good understanding of what you're doing right now and the mission that you have.
Well, I was a state trooper for 7 years. I'm an Air Force veteran, but May 24th, 2007, people were shot in a robbery for $2,000. And I said to myself, bad things continue to happen when concerned people fail to make boss moves. I made a boss move and started Be Someone to teach young people to think it out, don't shoot it out, brains before bullets. The only way to fight is to use your head. So I'm on a mission to teach young people how to be kind and how to walk in love and move in love. When you move in love, you win every time.
Awesome.
I love that.
So
We need so much of that these days.
I use chess because chess saved my life. I was a former gang member in my teens. I was in and out of foster homes when I was about 13. And a teacher came out of nowhere and taught me chess and my life around. So I owe my life to a teacher who taught me how to play chess and how to think about my future and how to choose peace instead of violence. Basically, I'm just paying it.
Makes all the difference, doesn't it?
It makes all the difference. We got to teach people that there's a better way of doing things. And what you sincerely desire for others will happen for you. If you want to make money as an entrepreneur and a solopreneur, go out of your way to provide value. And the more value you provide, the more value that will come back to you. Just go out of your way and just serve. When you serve people, it will come back. That's all you got to do is just serve people with a smile. Serve them with a smile, and you watch what happened to you. Good things happen.
There's such that whole concept of reaping and sowing, yeah.
Good things happen to those who make good things happen for others.
Agreed. Definitely.
Have you built upon what your teacher taught you with chess, kind of that where chess and life meet, or are you kind of following what that teacher said and just doing it directly?
A combination of both. Life is chess, and you know, it's not checkers. Checkers is easy. And if you do what's easy, your life will be hard. If you do what's hard, your life will be easy. We have to teach people, they have to be willing to step up. You know, You got to make boss moves. It takes courage to succeed. You got to go for it. You know, I was watching the Philadelphia Eagles, and they was playing the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl. And everybody said, kick a field goal. And commentators said, you gotta kick a field goal. If you don't kick a field goal, you gonna lose. He said, no, we ain't kicking no field goal. We going for this. But if you don't get it, you're gonna lose. So what? We going for it. It takes guts to succeed. It takes courage. You got to make boss moves. You got to be willing to put yourself out there. And here's the beauty. When you take a chance on good things, miracles happen. Go for it. We're playing the easy way out. You know, we ain't kicking no field goal. We gonna go for it. I was watching Alabama was 17-0, and they played Clemson, and Clemson beat them because the coach said we going for it. If we don't get it, we gonna lose. We still going. We went for it, and they beat Alabama. So you got to have courage to be successful.
And
What's some of the? Go ahead. Well, I was just say, what's like what's something courageous for a business owner? What's a courageous move?
Make your move before you're ready. Serve people. You may lose money doing it. If you told a person something, even if you told them, you know, you may lose money, but do it. It will come back to you multiplied. I mean, you got to jump and develop your wings on the way down. You got to go out of your way to service the customer, because what you put out there will come back multiplied.
Makes me think with chess that you have to probably lose a few rounds of chess to get really good at knowing how to win. Like, you almost need to not only know how to win, but also know how to lose, because you still learn in those processes, right?
Yeah, I tell people all the time, failure is weakness leaving the body. The more you fail, the stronger you get. You got to make it okay to fail. I'm the king of failure. Failure is nothing but information. And how do you succeed? By getting information. The more information you have, the more successful you'll be. So make it okay to fail. Embrace failure. Dance with failure. Failure is your friend.
I love that. Just a quick thing, when I was in college, I had someone who challenged me to a game of chess, and I'm very casual at chess. I'm like, yeah, I'll play. The guy like smoked me in like 6 moves, and he's like, oh yeah, I went to a chess college in Russia. Like, well, you should tell me that first before you challenge people. But I just think, you know, when you play someone at high level games, you raise to that. Even if you don't lose, you're still playing better.
Right. It shows you what's possible. A part of success is knowing what's possible. And oftentimes, to find out what's possible, you got to test your limits. And if you're not failing, then you're not doing anything. You gotta fail. You gotta make a commitment to get 1,000 no's. Now, if you make a commitment to get 1,000 no's, you will be very successful, because you don't know what your limits are. I was watching this guy, and he said, "You gave these people $5 million. Why don't you give them $5 million?" He said, they don't know what to ask. So only somebody can stop you is you. And why? Because the no was only no in your mind, because you said it's no. It was not no until you actually know for sure. Always inspect what you expect and question everything and go for it. And the no is really not a no. The no was only a no in your mind. And so you did not ask, so you did not get. But I teach people how to give intelligence. Give intelligence means create so much value for others that when you ask for something, it's a no-brainer.
And I'm curious to find out what you feel the roles of people is in business and in the mission, from the way they inspired you to when it comes to resources, when it comes to who you're serving. What roles have people played, and what has helped you develop, better business plan when it comes to interacting with people?
Well, here's something that I found very valuable. Oftentimes, when you set out to do something and you say, I want to do this, I want you to also think about the opposite. Because a lot of times, the opposite of what you're about to do is the real answer, is the real solution. So think about what you need to do and what you would, but also think about the opposite. Because most times the opposite is the answer because success is a paradox. It's the opposite. That's why I say make it okay to fail because that's the opposite, right? Opposite winning. So make it okay to fail. Failure is your friend. So it's the opposite. So a lot of your success is the opposite. A friend of mine, his name is Magnus Carlsen. Right now, he's the world champion. And when he won the world championship match, he won it by doing something that was bizarre. It was the opposite. He set his queen on a square where his opponent can capture it for free. But when he did that, that's a winning move. It was the game. But most people would have never even considered that. So what am I saying to people? Consider the opposite. Consider doing something that's bizarre, like going for it on fourth down. If we lose the game, but we gonna do it anyway. And that's how you win. That's what champions do. Champions go for it. I was watching the Lakers the other day, and it was like 1 second on the clock, and the guy, instead of going to the hoop, he shot a three. He shot it, it went in. They won. I was like, whoa, that's the opposite of what I would have done. I would have thought go to the hoop. No, he bagged back and shot a three, nothing but net, and they won the game. So a lot of times when you're setting out to do things, think about the opposite, what you think you need to do.
You make me think too in chess, there's also this concept of sacrificing your pieces. And I think so often we try to hold on to all of our pieces as
Right.
entrepreneurs without going, you know what, all of that stuff, even though I invest a lot of my time and energy, I'm going to put that out there, let it be taken, because then I'm going for the game move. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I beat one of the top Russian grandmasters in the world. His name is Rashid Diakonov. And the only reason I was able to beat him is because I did what you just said. I sacrificed a rook. I gave up 5 for 1. Now, most people thought it was a bad move when I did it because it was in front of an audience. And they thought it was a bad move, but it wasn't. It was a good move because things take time to develop and you got to give to get. And I teach people you got to give, not to get, and you'll get in return from giving. Because it's the opposite. So sacrifices must be made in order to have a breakthrough. So yeah, you're right. You gotta be willing to sacrifice. Because sacrifice, when I sacrificed the rook, I exposed his king. And when he took back, there were consequences, sanctions, and ramifications, and I was able to win the game.
That's powerful. And it's, so interesting that you brought up the fact earlier that you have to consider the opposite. And I think people really do run away from that. And, it's why maybe some people are, who knows, maybe you have the magic answer for how people can win faster because they make peace with the opposite of, where they're headed. Like, how do you see that playing out?
Well, you got, like, for an example, look, come divorce him. He did that to you, divorce him. No, don't divorce him. Just say, you know what? Because there was a story where Ronald Reagan and Colin Powell was in the room and was in this meeting. There were several other people in the meeting. And Colin Powell had told Ronald Reagan, let's do this. I think it was an attack on a war. And let's do it. It's a smart move to do. Let's do it. And they asked Colin Powell, they asked Ronald Reagan, they said, well, I mean, why did you do this? And he said, it's on me. I did it. Da 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 da. And Colin Powell, they said he cried after the meeting over there. Thank you for not throwing me under the bus because it was really Colin Powell. So sometimes you just gotta just fall on the sword for other people, make other people look good, serve other people because what you put out there will come back to you. It's what you sincerely desire for others will come back multiplied to you.
That's for sure.
Reciprocity is so critical. How do you feel about both in chess and business ownership, offense versus defense? Is it 100%? Like, you got to be good at both, or get really good at one versus the other?
Yeah, I think defense is good, but you got to have offense too. One of the things, my strong suit, and I'm an attacker, and so I play offense. And if you stay on offense strong enough, the opponent won't have time to do anything to you. I keep you so running. I keep you running, and so I think you got to have a combination of both. But like I say earlier, you got to be conscientious about serving other people, going out of your way for them, because if they win, you win, and it's not over until they win.
And here's something that I really loved about your story, when I first met you, was this how selfless you were to give back, especially, and I would love for you to share more on the purpose part of what you're doing with children and how you're helping them and who exactly you're helping with chess.
I'm helping senior citizens right now. I'm doing a 6-week boot camp for senior citizens. But when I'm done with the senior citizen, I'm doing a 10-week boot camp for young people ages 8 to 18. And I just love giving back and serving other people and making the world better, teaching young people some of my pitfalls, some of my mistakes, so that they won't have to do it. I fail so much. I'm the king of failure. I got the plaque on the wall. And so I share with other people where the landmines are. Hey, let me tell you what I did. I did this, that was a landmine. I did this as a landmine. I paid this guy to do some work. He didn't complete it. I paid a lot of people in advance, they didn't complete it. But I just love helping people. And people say, well, people take advantage of you. Yes, they do. But I still got to keep doing it because I love, just making people day. You got to satisfy people is not enough. You got to wow people. You got to go out of your way. And my commitment is, what can I do to help children make better decisions? Because I know that if I share the best of what I've learned, it makes the world better.
And what is the brain before bullets, part of the mission?
Yeah, have a brains before bullets. I don't know if you see the sign back there, but just think it out, don't shoot it out. The only way to fight is to use your head. We teaching young people to attack the piece, not the person. That human life has value, and do no harm, and all lives matter, starting with your own. Get your head up, get your pants up, get your grades up. Everybody matters, and everybody has a sign on their head saying appreciate me. I had some Latino kids that I've been training, and I train Black kids, Latino kids, all kids, white kids, or whatever. I train all races, and I teach the children as though they're my own. I teach the children as though my life depends on it, because it does. We're all in the same house. We all in the same boat. We all need each other. That I cannot be what I ought to be until they are what they ought to be.
Love it. I think it's a good transition to talk about this podcast is called People, Purpose, and Profits. What do those three mean to you? Is it a balance, or where you're at in life now? Is one kind of a bigger deal right now for you, or
I think you
kind of
need
talk
all
us through
three.
that?
I think you need people, you need purpose, you need kind of have profits. And I think it's like talents. You got to have talents, tools, and techniques so that you can be successful. So people are very important, because if you have the right people in the right seats, then miracles can happen, because everybody can't bag an 18-wheeler up. So you got to make sure you have somebody that can bag that 18-wheeler up. Otherwise, somebody gonna, so you got to make, hey, can you do this? No, I don't know. No. So okay, I can't put you behind an 18-wheeler. So people are important. Now, in order to have profit, you got to have those people, and you got to have positioning, right? So I tell people all the time, you got to pray, you got to partner. So you got to partner with somebody that's people, and then you got to position, and then you got to pause sometimes, then you got to pivot sometimes, and then you can proceed. But don't do the first thing that pops in your head. Your first crack could be a whack, and you can't take it back. So think before you act. You got to pray. You got to pause. You got to partner with other people. You need those people. And then you can profit. Profit is at the end. Your partner is people. You got to position yourself, right? And then good things can happen. And then you got to have purpose. Every move must have a purpose. When I make a move, trust me, I have a purpose for that. So when you gave your queen away, yes, I did, but there's a purpose. If you take that queen is poison, 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 poison. That queen was poison, 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 poison. So I give people stuff. I make a move, have a purpose, And they may take it. Oh, God, I'm going to take his queen. And you're going to lose if you take it because it's a trap. It's a purpose. And then I can profit in the end because I got the right people on the right foot.
Ah, that's so awesome and
Yeah.
beautiful. What's one lesson that you teach about chess? Something about chess and how it relates to just general success in life.
Pattern recognition. I was playing 50 people not long ago, and a reporter said, wow, how are you able to beat 50 people at once? I said, pattern recognition. I look at the board, I see the pattern, I make a move. Pattern recognition is the key to success in all fields. Once you know the pattern, you can plan, you can prepare, you can position, you can predict. This game is over. 2, 4, 6, 8. That's a pattern. At a certain time, traffic backs up. That's a pattern. You got a red light, green light, yellow light. That's a pattern. Pattern recognition tells you what's about to happen next. When the Super Bowl came to Atlanta, I'm on the field at halftime. Why? I saw the pattern. I go, wait a minute, I'm taking advantage of this opportunity. People said, what pattern? Some people don't even have a clue. And so one of my gifts is I have discernment. I can tell whether a person is fake or not. And so I thank God for the discernment because some people don't have your best interest at heart. You got to make sure that, everybody in your camp is not in your corner. And you got to be able to read what people are saying because what they say is not what they say, is what they're not saying. And you got to be able to interpret what's really, really happening. And so in discernment, reasoning, pattern recognition is the key. And once you know the pattern, you can look at people's patterns. You can tell what's going on by their patterns. And patterns tells you what's really happening because patterns don't lie. 2, 4, 6, 8, and so on.
Yeah.
I love that.
And it happens in business too, right?
Right.
It happens in business and also in psychology. We do have patterns when, you have a trigger and then you have a behavior. It's just so interesting, the application, how, it pertains to games and business and mindset and all these, things. So that was, great thing that you brought up.
Well, I'd even take it too. I don't know where I heard this, but I think it's so fascinating is we can't make more time, but we can always make more money. And recognizing that making money really is a set of patterns and systems. And, when I work with small businesses, we go, what are your wealth generators? What are the assets that generate wealth? Then you just scale those and you optimize those so you can do more. Because once again, those are all forms of patterns. So I love how you can take that from the game and start to see there's universal patterns, whether your industry is this, that industry is that. Like one pattern we talk about a lot on the show is people buy emotionally. So the pattern is, where are they emotionally? How do you get them in a good emotional state to buy? That's a pattern that you can look for. So,
and the pattern that I teach people for business is to give, not to get. This give value and you're gonna win.
Yeah.
Ms. Jones, if you're not happy with this product, I'm going to give you a refund with a smile because when you win, I win. And I want to make sure you're happy because if you're not happy, I'm not happy. So my assignment in life is to make sure I'm over delivering, giving you more value than you pay for.
Yeah.
I have a system and a pattern that I use where I'm always out giving the competition. The person who outgives the competition beat the competition. When they hire me to do something, I'm doing everybody's job. Everything is in my job description. Why? Because I'm going to over-deliver and I'm going to wow you. Satisfying people will get you fired. You got to wow people. Because if you wow people, like let me give you an example. I was working on this job and the manager went on vacation. So the assistant manager said, wow, I'm going to fire Orrin while the manager's gone. So he fired me, and I called the manager, and the manager said, well, if you fire Orrin, you fired. You fire Orrin, it ain't happening. But I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. He said, Bruce, do you want your job? He said, yeah. He said, bring Orrin back, and I got my job back. He did not know I knew Bill's home number. And so Bill wasn't hearing that. I'm about value. Bill, I don't want to hear that. See, the manager fired me because I was making more money than he was, because we get paid based on commission. But I'm always serving people, taking care of people, and so people gonna come in and see me because my life is about value. I
Mhm.
ain't trying to win you. I'm trying to serve you.
Wow.
Love that. I don't know where I heard this too, but the number one way to be successful is help others get what they need. And if
Right.
that's your whole focus, you've got those eyes on what do they need? How do I meet their needs? There's no selling. Like, you need this, I'm offering. Boom, that's easy.
Right.
Easy
Zig
as
Ziglar said
possible,
you
right?
can have anything in life you want if you just help help another other people get what they want. So if you help
Yeah.
others get what they want, you can have anything you want. So go out of your way and know that the agenda is to serve other people. I have no hidden agenda. Some people have this um me. Yeah, it doesn't work, bro. Don't do that. It's you're not gonna win like that. You just got to really serve people. I had a lady, I bought a car and I drove it for a month and decided I didn't like the color. And I said, I'm gonna do something crazy. I'm gonna make a bold move. I said, I want to swap this car. The lady said, well, you can't swap the car. You had it on my. She said, wait a minute. She said, are you Orrin Hudson? I go, yeah. She said, wow. She said, 20 years ago, you helped me and my daughter, and you got it out. She said, I will do it for you. And I tell people, karma, man, karma will come back. Just
Hmm.
do the right thing, serve people, and good things will happen back to you. She said, I'm gonna do it for you because you helped me and my daughter 20 years ago. I'm like, wow, that was
I love
close.
that. Yeah. So what's next for you? What's coming up? And you talked about the 10 weeks, and that maybe share a little more detailed. And
Yeah,
what are some links? Because this is just a short conversation, but we want our audience to connect with you and follow you because you're doing such great work. That's
well,
why we brought you on the show.
it's besomeone.org is the link. And I'm doing a 10-week boot camp starting October the 10th to December the 12th. And it's free for ages 8 to 18. And my way of just giving back. And we also take donations and sponsorships. So we love for people to join me in my effort, but I like to serve people first. And if they like what I'm providing, then please consider for a donation. But I'm committed to sharing everything I know to help our young people make better choices and better seasons. I teach them chess, but it's bigger than chess. Life is one big chess game. You win or lose based on the decision that you make. So you take 100% responsibility for your life. If it's the B, it's got to be me. No one's coming to the rescue. And don't play the blame game, play the win. Black and white is the same. So I tell people, you win or lose based on the moves that you make. Make your next move your best move.
Powerful.
I can't think of anything to top that great last bit. So thank you so much. It was such an honor to meet you and just to hear everything that you're doing. So thank you. And I just want to thank our audience. Please follow up with the links that we have to connect with him and the work that he's doing. You can catch our show on YouTube or any podcaster of choice. We also have a Facebook page where you can get updates on our show and a Facebook group where you can interact with other listeners and Kat and I, because we are ultimately about your success. We put together this show so that way you've got new thoughts, new inspirations, and new tactics and strategies so you can make the impact you were designed to do. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Orrin. It was just a fun conversation. Take care.